He tries hard to keep his floating head tethered. It hovers above him, tugging gently, wanting to float, to drift and see what there is to see. When he thinks of releasing it, just letting it go to explore, a panic swells up, so big it forces air from his lungs, so that a low groan escapes his mouth. "Don't fight, Whiskey Jack," Gray Eyes whispers. "Just let it go." "No," Elijah whispers. "It won't come back. My head won't come back." Gray Eyes laughs softly. Elijah fights the fear by himself, and then just decides to let his head float away. Elijah remembers seeing the horses stalls from above, and in one of them he sees me with a horse, feeding it by hand. Elijah floats further, peering into dark corners, reading the names on wooden cargo boxes. Ammunition, food, clothing, everything we will need over there. He floats to the next level. Waterline, men in hammocks sleeping, some tossing, others sick. Rows and rows of meat, they look like meat wrapped in wool blankets. A couple of men talk about girlfriends left at home, children that they might not see again. Elijah lets himself float up the stairs and up onto the lowest deck. Black night, no stars. The water below blacker, deeper than the sky. Cold. 2 night watchmen stroll, cigarette tips glowing. Will they check the cargo hold? Watch. Don't panic. Breathe. The upper deck and officers' quarters. More sleeping men. 2 are not sleeping. They touch tender fingers to mouths, taste one another, bite. The whisper and laughter of many voices up the final stairs. Elijah can hear them coming from the little glow of the wheelhouse. A party? The voices are excited. Not a party. Something. Crackle. Static. Anger. Women's voices speak in Cree. Elijah is pulled back to his body. He disappears into himself on his burlap sacks that itch his back.
"That was the one and only time I experienced the morphine," Elijah says to me, the pounding of artillery rumbling low in the distance. "It allowed me to leave my body and see what was around me. I see how it might be a very powerful tool for me in such a place as this." "You will not take it any more," I tell him. He nods and smiles. We lie on our stomachs and scan the ground hundreds of yards in front, the sun reaching its peak and then beginning its descent towards the earth behind us. Its warmth causes me to grow sleepy, and I find myself nodding onto my riffle, head sinking. A bird behind me sings a shrill song, and I realize that I have not heard this in many days. Elijah's voice startles me awake. I'm going to check the accuracy of my riffle. My eyes dart open. The sun has moved some since I fell asleep. "Is that wise?" I ask. "What if the smoke gives away our position?" "We've got the sun pretty much behind us now," he says. "No sniper can stare into it and see anything but sunspots." He preps his gun. I'm beginning to think that their sniper is a phantom. "What are you going to shoot at?" I whisper. "The bloated belly of that horse," he says. I focus into my scope and fill it with the body of the horse. "That will be a very bad mess you cause." "It should explode in an interesting way," he says. "Watch carefully." I watch, tense for the explosion in my ear. As soon as it comes, the horse's belly disintegrates in a red and brown cloud of spray, the animal's head jerking as if it is still alive. I continue staring through the scope, scanning the ground all around, tracing the ribbons of intestine and brown hide littering the mud around the animal. That is when he captures my eye. Not 15 feet away, a corpse moves slightly and a puff of smoke comes out from it. Almost simultaneously, wood splinters and dirt clods explode between Elijah's head and my own, and Elijah yelps in pain, the sound of his trying desperately to reload his Ross setting me into action. "That body just shot at us," I blurt as I train my sights on it and can suddenly see the barrel of a rifle pointing at us from under the corpse. "I can't see," Elijah says. "My eyes." I know that the sniper is reloading, and it is a matter of seconds before he will fire at us again. My rifle is steady on a place just above the rifle poking out from under the corpse, and without any more thinking I pull the trigger. There is the explosion and the kick. As the smoke clears, I see that the rifle I aimed above is now lying on the ground at an angle. The knowledge slowly sinks in. As I peer through my scope for movement, I know that there won't be any. "Fire one more time," Elijah says. "Put one more round in the same place." His voice is tense. He is in pain. I reload smoothly, draw a bead once again at the same place just below the corpse, then fire.
We drop down into the cover of the nest. Give me a canteen, Elijah says. I reach between us and pass it to him. He lies on his back now and pours water into his eyes. Can you see? I ask. Yes, but things are buzzy, he says. You got him, didn't you? He asks. I don't answer. That was their phantom sniper, Elijah says with awe. The one who killed Sean Patrick. He was hunting us too. I see that Elijah can't speak with his British accent when he speaks in Cree. Can you imagine? Elijah asks, beginning to laugh. The intensity of such a man? He could lie there for hours among the dead and the rotting. He lay there in that stink of death like death itself. But we got him. I ponder this for a while. We will go out there tonight and learn his tricks, Elijah says. We will get you a souvenir of your first great kill.